How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ashton's Trader Joe's Wine and Spirit Review. Today I have the Cedar Ridge Collection. Yes. This box has the malted rye, the Iowa bourbon, the single malt, single cask selection. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. The regular single malt and the wheated whiskey from Cedar Ridge, right? Yes. It's at Trader Joe's for $15.99, my friends in California, not more or less. You know the drill. Anyway, in California, the last time I saw this, it was on sale for $74.99. Not at Trader Joe's though. $75 down to $15.99, so $16. Now I also have the Cedar Ridge Iowa Bourbon Whiskey Private Cask Selection. So the cask strength, and it's at a whopping 57.5% alcohol. This is also at Trader Joe's for $9.99. And they have the 750 ml bottle of the winter wheat, $9.99. Did I say 7? I meant $9.99. And they have the single malt for $9.99. And then they just have the regular bourbon for $9.99. So this is a $50 to $60 bottle of cask strength bourbon, $9.99. Okay? And you might be asking yourself, well, how did they do that? How did they pull that off? And I'll tell you why. Because Cedar Ridge is coming out with their new line of bottles. And their new line is higher proofed. So let's just pretend this is just a regular Cedar Ridge Iowa bourbon whiskey. It's always at 80 proof, it's 40%. This is the cask strength, so it's different. But the regular one is at 40%. And it's an Iowa bourbon whiskey. It's not an Iowa straight bourbon whiskey. Now, after many, many hours of research and actually calling the distillery because I couldn't find the answer, the reason it was an Iowa bourbon whiskey and not an Iowa straight bourbon whiskey is because the Iowa bourbon whiskey and most of these whiskeys here are 2 to 3 years old, except the private cask single malt. And so they said, well, we don't really want to say that this whiskey is only 2 to 3 years old because people might not buy it. So they put Iowa bourbon whiskey. So they don't have to put an age statement. If it was a straight bourbon whiskey, they would have to put an age statement. Now, I think they came to the realization that people didn't like that because they thought, like me, Iowa bourbon whiskey, why is it not straight? Are they adding coloring? Are they adding flavoring? I literally researched so long I couldn't find the answer, and I called the distillery. And that's the reason why she told me. And she said that the new bottles say straight, because that's what people want to see, because it is a straight. There's no coloring, there's no flavoring added to it. I don't mind color, add all the color you want. Don't add any flavoring to it. And all of the new base ABVs are going to be 43% instead of the 40. But they do a very good job at their 40% stuff. I've never tried the cask strength, so I can't wait to try that because it's going to be delicious because I love their 40. I can't imagine how much I'm going to love the 57.5. So yeah, let's get into it. This video is going to be a little bit longer than usual because we have so many to go through, plus the cask strength. So let me open it up. I want to open it with you guys. So yeah, they're trying to get rid of all this old stuff, man. Because they got their new labels in, the new straight bourbons and the straight wheated and the straight ryes are coming in. And they want to get rid of all these old bottles that don't say straight because people were not happy about it, including myself. Still the same whiskey, except the new one's going to be like 3% more alcohol, so it's not that much. Make it 46%, unchill filter it. But no, they don't want to do that because, you have to think about this, okay? So 43 to 46, okay? So 3% more whiskey is in the bottle. Technically. Just add an extra 3% and you skip the filtering. You don't have to charcoal filter. You don't have to chill filter. You get better flavor. This stuff is so good. Chill filtered. This stuff is so good. Charcoal filtered. I couldn't imagine what it would be like. Unchill filtered, uncharcoal filtered. In its natural beauty at 46%. Now I don't know if this is chill filtered or let me see. Is it charcoal filtered? It says it is, but it looks like it's kind of like the old bottle, like the old label, and then they just kind of put in they wrote down, so it says all the Cedar Ridge Iowa Bourbon Whiskey, private cask, it's printed, and then it says they wrote in the 57.5. So I don't know if this one is charcoal filtered. I mean, Cedar Ridge, if you're listening, guys, add an extra 3%, stop chill filtering, stop chill charcoaling. You guys make amazing stuff. I couldn't imagine what it would be like without all this filter crap. Still good though. Okay, so here they are. All the little 200 ml bottles. Put this down here for now. So let's go into the first one. Let's go into the Cedar Ridge Malted Rye Whiskey. Now the mash bill on this, I don't remember the exact percentage, but it's mostly malted rye. It's not just regular rye, it's malted rye, so it's a lot different than normal. Brings out more flavor profile, different flavor profile. And then the rest is regular rye, and I believe 3 to 5% malted barley. Something along those lines. And it is 43% alcohol. Thanks, guys. No information on the minis, but I'm guessing I actually do know the only one they do chill filter is going to be the single malt, and they do a very short chill filtration. They don't do like an overnight one or like a 2-3 day one. They just chill it, filter it, and it's done. So this one isn't chill filtered. This one is going to be charcoal filtered. Oh man, synthetic. It's fine. I don't care as long as it's a cork. That's all good. That's all I care about. No screw top. I want a cork. All right, the color looks good. I've actually never had a malted rye, so I'm kind of excited. Just a little bit because I want to save these bad boys and I don't want to get too hammered. Already a little bit buzzed. Put that aside. Let's get into the nosing. Whoa, that's different. A little dry mouth. So on the nose, I'm getting, usually with rye, especially like in a rye that doesn't use new barrels. Like I just tried the Old Forester rye, the 100 proof, and they're just like, that new barrel, man, it just gives me that medicinal cherry, like oaky. It's just so intense. It kind of takes over the flavor of the new make. Now they do use new barrels in these. They use a wide variety of barrels. From what I heard, it's new barrels, a little bit of old barrels, and wine barrels, because it's a winery as well. But this one, I believe, is just mostly new barrels with some wine barrels. Getting like white grape juice alongside with a little bit of the dill that I normally would get. Wow, that's nice. It's like white grape juice, a little bit of dill, a little bit of mint. I've got mint going on in my nose right now. Feels like a minty white grape juice with a little bit of dill. It's very pleasant on the nose. Let's go in for the tasting. I'm getting that classic rye, you know, the dill and the anise, but I'm getting more of like a, can't put my finger on it, almost like a spearmint a little bit. The mint was more on the nose, but I'm getting it a little bit on the palate. A little bit like the bready, the rye bread in there a little bit. The nose is very sweet for me. It's very like grapey. I don't know if they're using wine barrels in these. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of research on these guys today. And they're hard to research. They give information out there, but like just enough. You can't really go too in depth with these guys, which I don't like. So white grape juice on the nose. I'm getting mint on the nose. I'm getting pickles on the nose. Definitely getting that rye spice, that classic rye. The wood hasn't taken over too much. This is anywhere between 2 to 4 years old, the malted rye. So it's, with the new oak in there, it's got a perfect amount of oak. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, very bready. Got that rye spice. It's weird, it's got a minty vibe going on, but I like it. It's pretty good. Should have got more water here. It's like a classic rye with a little bit more mint, and the bread notes are still there. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's very nice. I couldn't imagine what this would be like not chill filtered at 46% or higher. Moving on. This one's gonna be just a regular Cedar Ridge, Iowa bourbon whiskey, which I've done before. Should I do it again? I don't have to get into the whole thing. I've done this before, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna skip this one because this video is gonna be long as ever. So this is just your classic bourbon. You got your butterscotch. I'm sorry, not butterscotch. You got your vanilla, you got your caramel, you got your medicinal cherry on the nose, some baking spices. It's a light, easy to drink bourbon. The last time I drank it, I was getting pear on the nose as well. This is just a great bourbon at 40%. It's one of my favorite low alcohol bourbons. And we'll get into that one in a minute. So 2 done, crushed it. On to the next one. This one is the special one. This is the Cedar Ridge single malt whiskey, single cask selection. So from what I understand is that this is aged a little bit longer. So the single malt whiskey, when they find a barrel they really, really like, they set it aside, they age it just a little bit longer, and that's this. And I don't think this one goes through the Solera system like this one does. I could be wrong. I didn't see that. I just saw that this one is the better casks that they like. They put aside, age them a little bit longer. They say up to 5 years. So yeah, let's give it a shot. So this is like their really good single malt that they put aside. Buttery. It's buttery and a lot of malty sweetness in there. Wow, that's really nice. No peat. Sometimes, actually, I'm sorry, disregard that. We'll talk about that on the next single malt. Getting some honey in there, some butterscotch. Almost like a candied apricot. Malty sweetness. No malty funkiness on the nose at all. Oh, wow, that smells good. And this is at 40%. Oh, couldn't imagine this at higher proof, no filter. Wow. Very malty. But like that sweet, delicious, bready malt, not the funky, oh my God, I'm drinking scotch, crappy scotch malt. It's pleasantly sweet. It's not sweet, but it's just like enough sweet. It's more like a bready sweet, like a nice, buttery croissant almost. Holy hell, this is really good. This is, I wonder why these guys win awards, man. Holy cow, this is great. Wait. I'm getting something I can't put my finger on. It smells like a buttery, sweet, malty bread. With almost like berries, like a dark berry in there. No, is it vanilla? Like a cake. Almost like a custard cake, if that makes any sense. Wow. Whoa, that's really good. So far, my favorite one. The single malt whiskey, single cask. Wow, that was amazing. All right, this is just the regular Cedar Ridge single malt. It's definitely lighter in color than the single cask, and I think that's probably has to do with the age. But this is my thing, guys. Check this out. So this is anywhere between 2 to 4 years old, okay? It's aged exclusively in lightly charred American oak casks in Iowa. Now I know it's cold most of the time in Iowa, but they have blazing hot summers. Even though it's at 40%, it should be darker than this, and let me tell you why. Let's just say a minimum of 2 years in a new charred oak barrel, okay? That's 2 hot climate seasons that it goes through. And some of it is also aged in wine barrels, okay? So it should be even darker, even if it's for a few months. Should take on a lot of color from that. Then, it's put into a Solera system. Big old wooden vats, okay? They have one for their rum and their single malt. It's big old wooden vats they have at Distillery. So they dump in like so many barrels, fill it to the top, empty it, okay? Make this out of it, what they empty from the vats halfway full, then they fill up these, and then they pour more, I think it's like 18 barrels or something like that, fill it to the top, empty it halfway, put it in this, and so on and so forth. So you're getting, you know, potentially, there could probably be up to 8 to 10 years in here, probably not more like 6 or 7. Single malts. So first it's aged in wine and bourbon, or new charred oak, and then it's put into a big wooden vat. Yeah, I know it's only 40%, but the color should be more than this, in my opinion. I don't know what's going on with this. If you want to comment and tell me why it's so light, yeah, I know it's 40%, but I feel like it should be a lot darker. But this one makes a little more sense. The color on this at 40% makes more sense. This is too light. Rant over. Rant is over. Sorry I had to go through that. I'm just very picky, very snobby. Right off the bat, this smells more like a traditional single malt, but not a funky one. And for me, a nice single malt that's not funky smells like cotton candy. I don't know why, it just does. Not complete cotton candy, but I'm getting a lot of cotton candy. Kind of some light berry notes in there. No malty funkiness in this. No, a little bit, but very subtle. It's very light and floral. It smells amazing, I'm not gonna lie. This stuff though, whew, it's good. It's like a dumbed down version of this, to me. Same proof, more complex, nuanced flavors, still really good. Almost tastes, it kind of reminds me of Glenmorangie, 10-year. Yeah. Really good though, still very good. Get the butterscotch. Bready notes. This one though, you can get your hands on this. The thing with Cedar Ridge though, guys, is that, you know, they're not always trying to make the exact same whiskey every time. They don't have temperature controlled rick houses, you know, like these big bourbon companies and Scotch companies. Every time you buy a bottle, it tastes the same, year after year. These guys, they kind of just let nature do its thing. So this one might taste, this one is my favorite one, the single malt, single cask. Barrel number 9-34, bottle number 1548. This one might taste different than 1739. That's the thing with Cedar Ridge, but that's why I like them. Just Mother Nature, baby. It's like wine. You know, you get a great wine, you know, the 2017 vintage Cabernet from so-and-so, it's amazing. Then you get 2008 vintage, and you're like, nah. 2019 vintage is even better than the 17, you know? That's kind of why I like what they're doing. They're doing more of like a winery style, not trying to make it taste exactly the same every time. Let's hurry this up, because we have two more, and this is getting, I'm sweating. I'm sweating at this point. This is the Cedar Ridge Wheat Whiskey. Soon to come out is the straight wheat whiskey, 43%. Let's hurry this up. You guys are getting bored, I can tell. Hold it in there. Oh, this is the first time I've ever had a wheat whiskey. I've had wheated bourbons, but this is a wheat whiskey. To be classified as a wheat whiskey in the United States, it has to be at least 51% wheat, just like with the bourbon, 51% corn, excuse me. This is 100% white winter malted wheat. So this is technically a single malt, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not. Okay. This is lighter. Right off the bat, this looks like a 10-year-old Scotch in bourbon barrels at 46%. Ex-bourbon barrels. So it's very light. I kind of like when a whiskey's got that color. You can just tell it's natural. ABV 40. Like I said though, their low proof whiskey is the bomb. I couldn't imagine what it's going to taste like at cask strength. Oh, what is that? It's earthy, but like a sweet earth, if that makes any sense. It sounds weird, but that's what I smell like. A sweet, grapey, earthy, weedy, like wheat bread, buttery. Ooh, like a sweet cream almost. God, that was great. Oh. Very light on the palate. Very buttery on the nose and palate. Sweeter on the nose, drier on the palate, for sure. The nose is exceptional, actually. It almost smells like a less grain-heavy blended Irish. Grape. Total grapes, like white grapes. Whoa, that's coming in more and more. Like a sweet, toasty grape. I'm getting a lot of grape notes from these. Comes from a winery. I do know they do use wine barrels on some of them, but from what I've heard, it's only really the single malts. But like I said, I don't think they're giving out all the information. I think they're keeping a lot of stuff secret, because most of these are very grapey. except the bourbon. I didn't get any grape on the bourbon. Grapey, and really grapey. I mean, this one's very grapey. Like a sweet vanilla grape. Caramel, butterscotch. I'm getting more butterscotch on this than I am the single malts. Let's go in again. Let's finish. Earthy, bready, but not like rye bready, like wheat bready. Deliciousness. Excuse me. Okay, let's finish this up. So far, out of these 5, the Cedar Ridge single malt whiskey single cask is exceptional. All of these are very good. This is exceptional. Now let's try the cask strength bourbon. Finish this up. Yes. Get it while you can, guys. You know, these actually aren't going to be around forever. You know what? It doesn't even matter because their new stuff's going to kick more butt than this. I can guarantee it. Let's go for the cask strength. It's probably not what I need right now, but it's okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, more sweetness on the cask. Woo! Ooh, this is nice and sweet, but it's like that pleasant sweet, not like that nasty, cheap rum sweet. Medicinal cherries up there, but it's like a sweet cherry. Getting that classic vanilla, cinnamon, spice. Ooh, baking spices. But like spices, you know, you're smelling right in the little container. You're smelling those spices right there. Ooh, man, this is like the Cedar Ridge Iowa bourbon really coming alive. It's like the 2.0. I should have bottled with that. Damn it. Woo! This is nice. This is really good. On the nose. I know I'm gonna like the palate. I know I'm gonna like the taste. Here we go. Whoa. The wood totally just explodes. I don't want to say the rest, but wow, I can really taste the barrel in that one. Oh, jeez. Woo. The barrel really comes through on the 57.5% cask strength, but it's pleasant. It's not like a bitter barrel. It's like a pleasant. Kind of took me by surprise, if I'm being honest. Getting the berry notes on this. Honestly, I'm getting the berry notes on this cask strength. Maybe I just didn't pick it up before. Whew. Man, this is hot. Almost like a wicker chair. You know, like a plastic wicker chair. But it's pleasant. I can totally see someone hating that, if I'm being quite honest. Pleasant. It's like the regular bourbon on notch 2. Really good. Very oaky. But man, I wasn't expecting that, if I'm being honest. That's lingering as well. It's very lingery, if that's even a word. Woo! That's good. Definitely like it better than the original. I guess it would depend on what mood I'm in. Maybe if I just want a little bit of whiskey to sip that's a little friendly and doesn't want to punch me in the face, I'll just go with the original. If I want something that's going to be more kick my ass, I'll go with that. Sorry, YouTube. So far, let's finish this up. So far, out of these 6, which do I like best? The single malt cask. Single cask selection. Hands down is the winner. This is the best thing that's come out of that distillery. I can't wait to taste that at 43%. I really can't. And I hope they come up with the cask strength. Cedar Ridge again, guys. It's one of my favorite craft whiskey distilleries. They just come out with awesome stuff. And if you don't even know this, they have a gin, they have vodka, they have a Slipknot version of the Slipknot whiskey that they distill for Slipknot. They have brandy, they have pear brandy, they have regular brandy, they have apple brandy, they have rum. I haven't tried any of those, and I want to because I'm a big rum guy. But yeah, Cedar Ridge, guys. Whole pack here with these is going to be $15.99, might be more or less. I know I always say that, but that's just the way it is. Doesn't matter, insane discount. Cask strength, 750 mil. Wheat, 750 mil. Single malt, 750 mil. And just the regular bourbon, 750 mil. $9.99 more or less, other states. Insane discount, get it while you can. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like for more. You guys have a great night. I need a cheers. Shit. Let me go. Let's say this. We have to cheers. I have to cheers. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay COVID-19 free. Cheers. And drink whiskey, damn it.